Vince McMahon chastises. Upcoming Netflix docuseries ahead of release. Alleges editing tricks distort story. Mr. McMahon is set to be released later this week. Vince McMahon, the former chairman of WWE and TKO Group Holdings, lashed out about the upcoming Netflix docuseries that takes a look at the rise of the pro wrestling business mogul and the controversies that surrounded him for decades. Mr. McMahon is a 6-part miniseries that will air on Netflix on Wednesday. The series was directed by Chris Smith, while Bill Simmons and Zara Duffy were the executive producers on the show. McMahon expressed issues with how the show was edited and how he was allegedly cast as being his real-life TV character. "I don't regret participating in this Netflix documentary. The producers had an opportunity to tell an objective story about my life and the incredible business I built, which were equally filled with excitement, drama, fun, and a fair amount of controversy and life lessons," the statement read. "Unfortunately, based on an early partial cut I've seen, this doc falls short and takes the predictable path of conflating the Mr. McMahon character with my true self, Vince. The title and promos alone make that evident. A lot has been misrepresented or left out entirely in an effort to leave viewers intentionally confused. The producers use typical editing tricks with out-of-context footage and dated sound bites, etc., to distort the viewer's perception and support a deceptive narrative. In an attempt to further their misleading account, the producers use a lawsuit based on an affair I ended, that I am, in fact, Mr. McMahon. I hope the viewer will keep an open mind and remember that there are two sides to every story." McMahon is also being sued by former employee Janelle Grant over allegations of sexual misconduct and sex trafficking. Ann Callis, Grant's attorney, read a statement last week about the Netflix series. Janelle Grant is a survivor of incomprehensible abuse, sexual assault, and human trafficking at the hands of Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE. Callis said via Cageside Seats. "It takes immense strength to speak out against Goliaths, and she has courageously come forward, not just to address her own suffering, but also to act for those who are afraid to speak out. She is also a human being. She is smart, kind, and compassionate. But because of the extreme cruelty, degradation, exploitation, and violence she was subjected to on a near-daily basis for more than 2 years, she now suffers from severe post-traumatic stress disorder, suicidal ideation, and the inability to leave her home for weeks at a time." Janelle's story is an important one, and we hope Netflix docuseries does it justice. Her experience is integral to an accurate and full retelling of the story of the WWE and Mr. McMahon. While Janelle didn't participate in the Netflix docuseries, we hope it shines a light on the abhorrent actions of McMahon, frequently on WWE property, and it portrays the realities of his abusive and exploitive behavior. Many of the stories in the last few months have not portrayed her in the way she deserves to be portrayed as a survivor of human trafficking and sexual abuse. Grant didn't participate in the docuseries while in the midst of her lawsuit against McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE. Callis released a new statement on the docuseries late Monday. Vince McMahon physically and emotionally abused, sexually assaulted, and human trafficked Janelle Grant for more than 2 years, the statement read. Calling his horrific and criminal behavior an affair is delusional and nothing more than a sad attempt to save his shredded reputation. Although Mrs. Grant has not seen the Mr. McMahon docuseries, we hope it shines a bright light on his abhorrent and criminal actions by accurately portraying the realities of his abusive and exploitative behavior. Miss Grant will no longer be silenced by McMahon. Her story, though deeply troubling and exceptionally painful, is one that can help other abuse survivors find their voices. We seek to hold McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE accountable and to give Mess. Grant her day in court.